Bladee is an artist whose music, like most people on their first listen, sounds like absolute utter trash. When I first heard Be Nice to Me a couple years ago, I was like, oh my god, this shit is shit. This shit is shit. But I kept listening and hearing it more and more, and eventually I thought, you know what? This is pretty good. I like this. This prompted me to listen to even more Bladee songs like Reality Surf, Sesame Street, and Western Union. 14 albums and 16 reaction videos later, and I can officially say I am a fan. And today, like I said, I'm gonna give my overall review of Bladee, going over each album in a summary review fashion, listing out some notable singles, my favorite songs of his, and yes, giving you my opinion on Bladee as a whole, I guess. Alright, this is gonna be a long video, so make sure to get comfy. And yeah, guys, enjoy. Okay, so starting with Gluee, his first project. This is a crazy experience listening to this for the first time. The sound was pretty new to me. It was super dissonant, with a bunch of weird flows, ethereal-ass beats, dark vibes, but overall, I would say that I enjoyed this project. It's super unique with a short track list that allows each song to stand out. I really hate 20+ track albums where by the middle you just feel like you're drowning in the same spiel of just the same song. I just think in general, shorter track lists are better for albums. You get less tired and stuff. I think my favorite songs on this project are Upgrade Enabled, Spellbound, and eBay. I think Spellbound is the most normal song on here, with Blade's vocals being pretty smooth the whole way through, a nice little catchy melody, not too ethereal and not too incoherent. It was pretty relaxing, nothing too abrasive. And I know Bladee isn't known for singing, but dude, I don't even know autotune could do some of the stuff that it does. It's crazy on here. I am, however, not a huge fan of the production on this album. Some of the drums and the sound selections and the patterns don't really do it for me, on the song eBay. I don't know, the drums are just kind of weird. And Everlasting Flame is a song I can't really tell if I like it or not. It has a tinge of being off key. I know it might probably not be, but it just sounds weird to me. I don't know. But it's kind of good at the same time, so I'm very conflicted on that song. But yeah, if you're looking for some cloud rap, ethereal ass vibes from a Swedish man, you're in the right place with this album. It is really rough. Granted, it was in 2014 when Bladee was kind of starting out, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, it's not the most accessible album. I'll talk about some albums that I think are more accessible for a first time listener. I'll definitely check this out if you're a more experienced Bladee fan, you know, but yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm surprised I enjoyed it, honestly. And speaking of a project that surprised me, R.I.P Bladee. As short as it was, it turned out to be one of my favorites in the early game. We were immediately greeted with a nice little tune called 7-Eleven. It's very different, and it has a really super specific vibe, which is a cloud rap happy ukulele type thing. It's really weird, but Blade's vocals are really good on here, so it kind of evens out. It's pretty good in the end. And the rest of the album just goes uphill from here. We got a super nice Thai Boy and Bladee song called Butterfly. It's super cool production wise and lyrically. MJ is a super hard song. It's really drowsy and kind of wacky, but it goes really hard, and also there's Young Lean on it, and that goes hard as well. I'm gonna just skip Psycho because I just want to talk about the best song on this album, 50 Sack in My Sock. This song goes incredibly dumb for no reason.
50 sack in my sock, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. 50 sack in my sock, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. 50 sack in my sock, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. 50 sack in my sock, I don't give a fuck.
There's such an energy here that it definitely feels like a Bladee special. It has those Chief Keef drums in the back. It has the Chicago drill, but also a glow and cloud rap kind of combination. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And Lean also kills his verse. He really completes the song, and without him, it wouldn't be the same. And this is one of the earlier ones where I'm this song stands out to me, you know, I really like this. Alright, so Eversince is an album that I feel really stepped up in terms of quality. It's a more polished and focused sound, with less emphasis on being experimental and wacky. A lot of the songs kind of feel the same, which isn't a bad thing. It kind of means they more just fit on the album and they all sound coherent. It's also not too incredibly long at only 12 songs, which is a pretty decent length for a Bladee album, I would say. And so the sound doesn't get too tiring. I should probably explain what the sound I'm talking about is. So basically it's a more trap influenced cloud rap type of thing, with There's more plucks and leads and melodies as opposed to just like ambient ethereal pads and stuff. There isn't really a melody, it's just kind of like a feeling, a vibration. Yeah, it's more bright and happy, more plucks, all that sort of stuff. And there's some more drowsy, slow songs like X'd Out and Sugar, which are actually some of my favorite vocally, but I don't know. The production of those kind of songs can get tiring kind of fast if it's not done completely, like if it's not done super duper well, you know? And it ends with a super cool ambient guitar song with Skin. I think that song's really cool. It's one of the best produced songs on the album, I feel like. And yeah, I would describe this album as more ambient and spacey than actually like full-on ethereal, because ethereal to me kind of means like I said, incoherent, just like sound, like kind of like white noise pads and stuff. And there's not really there's not that much on this album, despite what the album cover and like the title would suggest. I feel like this album is more leaning into like more of the trap stuff, more like Lucky type stuff, you know what I mean? Just like a bunch of cool bells, plucks, leads, all that sort of stuff, like actual discernible melodies, you know? And yeah, so I think my favorite songs on here are Romeo, Risk Cry, and X'd Out. I think those songs are really good. Alright, so we got AVP. So this is a dope little collab EP with Tyboy and Bladee. And this really feels like Tyboy and Bladee just kind of messing around and doing whatever, rather than making like a full-on coherent project, which I think is okay. I don't think you need to make a full like coherent project. I think you can just like mess around with your buddies. I think that's cool, you know? Like there are some really goofy songs like Broke Boys and 2X. Like those songs are goofy as hell. But there are also some serious tracks like Winter, which is a very ambient and like themed song around winter. So you can kind of see the dichotomy between the type of songs that Tyboy and Bladee like to make. You got a bunch of like goofy songs and a bunch of like serious, more emotional songs, which I think is cool. I think my favorite song though is Area 51. This song is super fire, it goes hard. There are a lot of different synths and vocal samples mixed in, and it just goes crazy. It's such a huge atmosphere in this song that I really enjoy. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite Bladee vocal performances. It goes very hard and the mixing is fire, like it just sounds really nice.
I'm in your area 51. She wanna have some fun, I tell her come along. I go to Rain World with your girl, but I'm alone. I disappear into the darkness and I'm gone. I'm in your area 51. She wanna have some fun, I tell her come along. I go to Rain World with your girl, but I'm alone. I disappear into the darkness and I'm gone.
The hook is catchy, and yeah, the song kind of sounds like what a normie like me would kind of gravitate towards, which I think is cool, you know? Like, I'm glad that I feel like he kind of has like the normie in mind. I feel like he's not trying to go mainstream all the way completely. Like, obviously, he has like under 1 million monthly listeners, but I do feel like he doesn't want to make his sound completely alien and like inaccessible, I guess. I think that's a word, but yeah, and I feel like Area 51 is like one of the better older songs too. So next we have a compilation album called D&G, which I'm gonna guess stands for Drain and Gang. I don't really know what else it would stand for. Probably some like Swedish thing, maybe. I don't know. That's probably racist. I'm sorry. But yeah, this features songs from Bladee, Tyboy, and Echo 2K. Sometimes together, sometimes on their own, which I think is pretty interesting. Like, it's interesting to see that they don't have to be on a song they don't all have to be on a song together. Sometimes Echo can have a couple songs. Bladee, it's interesting. I know it's been done before, but I don't know. I'm not really used to that too much, so I think it's cool. And I'm gonna just say that this album is pretty fire. Like, I know I say that about every album so far, but I mean, I have a positive feeling towards Bladee and his friends, you know? Like, I'm not gonna just sit here and like pretend that I hate it, because I don't. I think it's really good. And yeah, like the first 3 songs on here are fire. Like, No Life Left is a great opener. Black Boy is a super interesting look into Echo's experience being a black person and like feeling different, because he grew up in Sweden, where I'm guessing there isn't many black people there, so it must be interesting like just being black in like a predominantly just white area. Despite all the good things we said about this album, I feel like it is a little bit too long, with a little bit of filler like Scarecrows and Cinderella. I don't really like too much, you know? I wouldn't say they're completely skips, but I don't know, the sound kind of gets tiring after a little bit in the middle, and that kind of goes because like it's just too long. I feel like with some sounds it just gets too, repetitive. But yeah, but there's also a lot of good songs that make up for the weaker songs. Like, this isn't pulled towards the weaker side. I feel like it's more towards the stronger side. Yeah, my favorite songs are Dumpster Baby, Nosebleed, Happily Ever After, Climbing, and First Crush. I mean, I don't really have too much to say, as it is a compilation and not a full album, so I kind of feel like they're kind of throwing songs together that would, that they just like, which is cool, I think that's cool. But yeah, I can't really review it as a full-on album, even though I kind of did, but it's not the same, you know? So next we have 2017's Working on Dying. Yeah, this is an interesting project because it's mostly produced by Working on Dying members. And I think some co-production from White Armor, but mostly Working on Dying. And also, I just found out that Benny X is in Working on Dying. Like, I did not know that. The guy who made Yeet songs and stuff, like, I did not know he was in Working on Dying. That's crazy. I didn't know that. And I have to say, like, this is honestly one of Blade's most solid projects. Zero skips. Red Light Moments is an iconic first track. Such a catchy melody, but super simple. And has a fire beat from Oogie Mane and Filthy. Like, this beat is crazy. It has a certain quality to it where it seems like it would just be like another generic Blade song. But to me, it's a really special Blade song. I think I just really like it. A big thing about a good song or an album to me is how well it flows. So specifically for a song, like, if I can like sing the whole way through, it's interesting the whole way through, different flow switches that are catchy, like it just keeps me engaged, there's different things happening, it keeps up a good energy, like that's a good song to me. And this song definitely has that. Like Red Light Moments is great. Lordship is actually insane and exactly what I wanted when I heard like there's gonna be a Blade and Working on Dying project. Like this song like meets the expectations fully for me. I think it's great. Beat is so hard and Blade like perfectly matches the beat. Like he really takes a good control of the beat. It's crazy. The song also has Young Lean on here and he's dope. Like I haven't heard much of Young Lean, but I just know he's fire on every Blade feature, so yeah. Knightsbridge is also wild. Like the beat is like a good mix of like the wild Cardi Matt Ox stuff, but also like the ambient Blade stuff, which is really crazy. I think Blade did really well on this song. And yeah, it's just super swag and like the hook is really catchy. Like again, this is another solid song. Backstreet Boys reminds me of 25 Letters by Wi-Fi's Funeral, which I think is really cool. Like that, I don't know. I like Wi-Fi's Funeral a lot and that song reminds me of it, so I like it. Yeah, the song is crazy. It's super fun. I love the
Trash pack, Chevy Lexus, hit the gas.
And Black Crate was also fire. I think this is my first time reacting to Black Crate on the channel, so that was definitely interesting. And then next you just have super fire hooks, like Under Your Spell is super great, like that song is amazing. Cherry Bracelets is a different experience, like dude, it sounds like doing every drug ever, like it's nuts. I mean, it's like if a unicorn's like a shit, like that's how I describe the song, like it's insane. Lena's a super cool hook on here, and Blade and Echo just easily glide over the beat, like I love this song's great. Alright, so next we have the album Red Light. Finally, we have an album that's kind of leans towards the negative side on here. And this isn't to say that I hate it, I don't hate it, I quite like it, but it does have some problems. And that is a lot of the songs kind of sound the same. And not in the way where it's like a coherent, just like nice, smooth experience. A lot of it just kind of sounds the same, and it just doesn't really do it for me. A lot of melodies sound the same with the same little pluck sounds, kind of like they kind of sound like an Uzi type beat or something. And it also kind of sounds like Stay by Kid Laroi, which is annoying that I make that comparison. You know, that's super basic of me, but it just sounds like it, you know. And yeah, although there are a lot of standout songs like Obedient, Steve Jobs, 1D, For You, a lot of the songs are just kind of okay on this. But I'll talk about like the standout songs more than the negative ones, because it doesn't really do too much if I keep like, you know, dwelling on it. So yeah, I'll just go in order of the album. So 1D is a super good intro. It has a fresh sound that later becomes used a lot. So like I guess like it just kind of gets tiring after a while, but this song is good. I like the pluck sound they used on it. It sounds super nice. Bright, it's happy. It's got a touch of the old cloud rap style, but kind of with a new modern ambient twist. Blade goes super hard in here, and yeah, it's just a fun song. Alright, so next we got Westfield. This is a super catchy song. The best part of this song is the hook. Like, the hook is crazy. The beat is very ambient, and the sound's a little bit different, which I like. I don't know, Blade kind of carries the song. Like, this hook is insane. And next we got the most popular song on here called Obedient. This song is super hard. Blade goes crazy and the beat is just ridiculous. All the different leads and plucks and stuff, everything goes crazy. It may not sound like it goes more crazy than the other songs, but to me it definitely does. Echo may have my favorite part on here. He goes dumb, like it's so smooth. The flow is great, his part is just so memorable, and it adds just a nice unique emotion. I don't know, I feel like Echo really carries the song. And For You is also a very sick song. Super emotional sounding with a really great hook. And again, Echo comes in stealing the show. I think Echo might be my favorite Jane Gang member so far. I haven't really done extensive research on the other members, but Echo always does super well on like features and stuff, like he kills it. And yeah, this song is super fire, definitely one of the standouts. Again, this album isn't amazing, but it's definitely far from being bad, you know? Alright, so next we have probably the most infamous or famous album in Blade's whole discography, and that's Ice Dancer. Obviously, we know that Blade's most popular song, Be Nice to Me, is on here, but there's also a lot of great songs in here that I want to talk about. OKK is a standout with a super unique flow that's definitely a classic, and one that also had to take time to grow on me, but eventually I really liked it. And one that I actually kind of quite liked at first, that you may not expect, is Malhor Freestyle. Like, I think that song was pretty good off rip. Like, I still think that song is really good. It's just really fun, really catchy. Nothing much to say about it. It's just kind of a good Bladee song, you know? I mean, the first, like, 10 songs on here are super good. It's a crazy run. Jaws goes crazy. Frosty the Snowman is hard. Like, there are a lot of classic songs in the first half of the album. Party Your God Intermission was a song that really had to grow on me, but now I kind of like it. Like, if you guys watch my review or my reaction, you'll be like, what? How do you like it already? But I kind of do. Like, it's like, you can see me, like, kind of starting to like it in the reaction, you know? But yeah, now I think it's pretty fire. Like, I don't know. I think it's good. Side by Side is super duper dope. The hook is crazy. This is the type of ambient songs I like by Bladee, where he just kind of like sings his heart out and just the reverb's everywhere. Like, it's a nice ethereal pad. Like, it's not too muddy and just, you know, chaotic. It's just nice. So from there we dip a little bit in quality, nothing too crazy, but I feel like the second half is a bit weaker than the first half. I mean, songs like Top Man, Special Place, DD Jeans, those are pretty good songs, but I don't know, man. Like, songs like Feel Like, LinkedIn, For Nothing, they don't really do much for me. Kind of sounds like filler. Anything is kind of good, but it's mostly the beat that I like. I don't know, man. The first half is full of bangers. The second half is just okay to me. But we also got the Rip Squad outro, which is like really crazy. Like, that's an amazing outro. And yeah, overall, this is a great project. I mean, like I said, it's a little bit weak in the second half, but this is a project I'd recommend to new viewers, because once you get accustomed to like Malhor Freestyle, Frosty the Snowman, Be Nice to Me, you kind of get used to Blade's voice and the auto-tune style and the not so great singing and stuff like that. You'll have an easier time listening to his other projects, I feel like. And so yeah, I think this is one of the better ones to start out with. Just like it's one of the most accessible ones, I feel like. Let me know if I'm right in the comments. I'm not really too sure. Alright, Trash Island. Now let me just get this out of the way. I think Western Union is a really good song. I think it deserves all the streams it has. I'm trying my best to say good things about this album, because what's coming next, you guys probably will not like it, but I don't really like this album. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get crucified for this, so I'm sorry, but I don't know. The songs just, they aren't good to me. I mean, they're good, but like, they're really weak. I feel like they're just really weak. I feel like a lot of them are really slow. They don't have that much energy to them. Like, I can't really remember most of the songs. Like, I think I know Victim's a song on there, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know. Waterfall is super annoying to me. The Void is alright. It has a cool, creepy vibe, but I wouldn't really go back to it. Like I said, Victim is okay, but again, it's nothing too special. I don't know, a lot of these times they're using like really annoying like voices and stuff and inflections. Like, I don't know. I don't think this project is for me, honestly. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but I feel like in this review I gotta be fair and I gotta be honest, you know? So yeah, Trash Island is not for me. Okay, I'm just gonna move on before I get destroyed. I'm gonna be more positive now. Alright, 2020's Exeter. So this was also an insane experience going into it. I would say this is a step up in weirdness than I was used to, but I'm not really sure, because Gluee and Eversince are pretty weird. But I don't know, this kind of hit me. Like, when I was reacting to this, I was like, damn, what the fuck is this? Like, this is insane. And while I was confused when I first listened to it, the more I listened to it, I realized that this is actually one of Blade's most solid, consistent, and thematic projects. A lot of the songs sound similar, but the key concept for this is that they all fit really well together. They all sound like they belong in the album. And I just love a consistent sounding album. Like, an example of an album I really love is A Love Letter to You 3 by Trippie Redd. I feel like every song fits on the album. They have a similar sort of vibe, but each song has something unique about them, something memorable, whether it be a hook, the beat. Like, I think they're all just banger songs. There's no skips on that album, and I feel like the same can be said here. Love Story has its fire hook. Every Moment Special has that super crazy beat. Like, that little strum harp thing is insane. All the songs have a special quality to them, which I don't know how Bladee and his producers did this, but this has hints of like Christmas, the carnival, candy. Like, I don't know, just a very pleasant album. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep to this writing this review, because I don't know, it just put me to sleep. Like, it's just really nice, and it's not boring either. Like, there's some songs that aren't just like the most uplifting or energetic, but it's like nice. I'm not bored during it, you know? I think my favorite songs on here are Merry Go Round, DNA, Love Story, and Every Moment Special. That song is just crazy. Every Moment Special is insane. Alright, so I know that I said that Ice Dancer is a great starting point for new Bladee fans, and I still stand by that. However, this next album might be a contender for the best starting point of a Bladee album, and that is 333. I'm still on the fence with his opinion, but at the moment, I think I like 333 a little bit more than Ice Dancer. I'll have to listen to them both more, but yeah, I feel like 333 might be a better starting point than Ice Dancer. I'm not really too sure though, you know? I think 333 is a more concise and more solid project. There's still, of course, a couple filler songs, like maybe It Girl, but other than that, it's a really solid project. I mean, Reality Surf is on here, but there are also a lot of other notable songs on here, like Hero of My Story, Noblest Strive, Oh Well, Don't Worry. They're all really good songs, Wings in Motion as well. I wouldn't call this album super experimental or anything, but I don't think every Bladee album needs to be super weird and super ethereal, super strange, you know what I mean? I feel like there can be a lot of normal sounding Bladee songs, you know? And again, I can't really compare this album to anything because I don't know if it's Blade's voice, the production, something about it, it just sounds like Bladee. Like, you can't really compare it to much else. He has such a unique take on music as a whole, I guess. I think Bladee has a lot of his best vocal performances on this album. Flows like on Keys to My City is insane. It has some of the best beats too, like Reality Surf and Hero of My Story is like wild. They're crazy. And also Valerie is like absolutely amazing. I love that song. Now I can compare this song to another artist, and I feel like this song kind of sounds like a Juice WRLD song if Juice WRLD was born in Sweden. Like, I don't know. It sounds like Blade's kind of doing a take on a Juice WRLD, Lil Peep. More Juice WRLD type song, I feel like, but again, I don't know, I can't really say anything about that, you know? I don't know, just the beat, the lyrics, just the whole emotion, it kind of sounds like a Juice WRLD song. And that's no critique, like I said, I really like this song, I think the song is amazing, so I just thought it was interesting that he would pull like a, kind of like a emo rap song on this project. I didn't expect that at all. And yeah, Only One is like super grand, the obvious EDM club scene, inspiration is insane. Like, I love that song, and the transition to Swan Lake was crazy. Like, that was nuts. And yeah, like I said, a very, very strong album. Not perfect by any means, but definitely one of the stronger Bladee albums. And I think it grew on me since my reaction video, because I think in my reaction video I was just like completely overhyped on this, because a lot of people were saying this is the best project. My friend was saying it's the best project, and so I was going into it with like too high expectations, you know. And that happens a lot with me. That happens way too much with me. I always expect it to be a perfect album, and I don't really like it that much. I'm disappointed, and then when I look back, I'm like, oh, you know, this is pretty good. This is really good, actually. And next we have Good Luck, which is another very, very solid project. The intro is very cool. It's very hypnotic with like a really repetitive melody that kind of like goes out, like it changes keys and stuff like that. Like, it's very weird. It's a very weird start to the record, but I kind of like it. And yeah, here we see Bladee experimenting with different genres. Like, there's an obvious EDM inspiration here with songs like Rainbow and Into One. Into One is like my favorite song. And yeah, this is kind of like a preview of what's to come with his future projects, where he's kind of experimenting with different genres and not just outside of cloud rap, you know what I mean? And even though it's not some super genre bending song, a lot of the songs are still pretty fire. Like, I would say this is some top tier Bladee production and vocals. Like, Sun is like super catchy and fun. God and Drama are also super fire. And I feel like Mecha Talk is just a really good producer who brings out a lot of the creativity in Bladee. The ending song Grace is super relaxing with like a Minecraft Terraria type beat on it. It's like insane. And yeah, like I said, my favorite song on here has to be Into One. The EDM vibe is just amazing. Like, I love when quote unquote like rappers, typical rappers, they hop on different production, like Polo G on that one song. I feel like Bladee is like due for like EDM type stuff, you know, like Geometry Dash type stuff, you know. And it sounds really well. Like, when Bladee tries different stuff, I always love when artists try different stuff, and Bladee doing it, it's perfect, man. Like, that lead sound is like, I can't get over that. Like, that lead sound is so smooth, it's so nice. I'm just a sucker for like really nice sounding leads, I guess, you know. I guess it's just the producer in me or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this album has like the right amount of like experimental, different genre type songs, and also sort of like basic, more basic Bladee songs, you know. So lucky for me that Into One was one of my favorite songs. And next we have an album that utilizes a lot of EDM stuff, and that is The Fool. This is a very good album, although it's a bit hard to review. This album overall sounds very blissful and bright. It has a lot of hyperpop melodies, a lot of bleeps and bloops and stuff like that, you know. And I still kind of find it strange how like people say like hyperpop kind of came out of nowhere with no clear origin, and that may be true, but I feel like Bladee is definitely a pioneer for this sort of sound. Like, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit. We're talking about like the new age SoundCloud hyperpop scene, you know. And yeah, so I think this is a great album that like revolutionized a lot of like the future of SoundCloud rap, I guess. And I mean, we got Hotel Breakfast on here. Like, he says pop out like a toast. Like this song is crazy. I honestly don't have much to say. I feel like I should be saying more about this album, but it's just hard to talk about. I don't know why. Like when I was thinking about it, nothing really came to mind other than like this is a good album. Like I'd like it. Like there aren't too many skips. Like it's just nice, you know. There aren't too many notable songs on here. Like I think Hotel Breakfast, the full intro is really good. Desiree's good, Ego Baby. But other than that, nothing is really too memorable. But I would go back to this. Like I like the aesthetic of the album. I think this is a rare case where like I don't really remember too many of the songs, but I just kind of know that it's gonna be good. You know, I just remember liking all the way through. You know what I mean? So yeah. I wouldn't say it's like an amazing album, but it's pretty good. So next we have, I feel like this is a fan favorite of the recent era Bladee. We have Crest. And again, I feel like Bladee and Echo are really creating their own genres here. Like it's insane how Bladee and Echo can sound like just like their own music. Like I don't understand how they just reinvent music like to where it sounds like this. Like I don't understand. Maybe he sounds similar to other Swedish artists and stuff like that, but in America, like there's like no one who sounds like Bladee and Echo and All of a Drain Gang. Like maybe that's why Americans like we gravitate towards them so much, because like they just sound super different than everyone else here. Off rip with The Flag Is Raised, we get like a super iconic, memorable melody. That song is absolutely fire. And then it transitioned to a fire song that's 9 minutes long. Like, dude, there's like no rules to this shit. Like, it's insane. White Meadow literally sounds like a fantasy anime. Like, it's like beautiful. Chaos follows it, literally chaotic. Like, it sounds so grand and amazing, but chaotic. It's I don't know. It's wild. Girls Just Wanna Have Fun is beautiful and super blissful as well. I don't know. I think blissful is just a great way to describe this album. It just sounds super bliss. You know what I mean? Like, I'm picturing like white like flowers and stuff like that, but also there's like a bunch of like different genres, EDM, house, stuff like that they're combining, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I feel like both Bladee and Echo kind of hold their own. I feel like with the mixing and the way this project is kind of like set up, they're not really like stand out on this album, and I don't think they're meant to. I feel like they kind of like meant to just like add to the I feel like they're just meant to add to the instrumentation, and I feel like it's not really like I feel like this album isn't really where like a singer is just like kind of singing over a beat. It's more like kind of like intertwined and blended into the song, if you know what I mean. I feel like Young Thug does that pretty well. Like other people like that do that well, where you're kind of even forgetting that it's like a Bladee and Echo project, and you're kind of just focusing on like the songs as a whole, and not necessarily like, oh yeah, listen to like a rapper rap over a beat, you know what I mean? Because I feel like with certain songs they can really take away from the experience. Like I remember listening to Holy Smokes by Trippy, and that really just sounds like he's in the studio. Like you can kind of like picture him in the studio like rapping. Like it doesn't really fit with the song, you know what I mean? But they do a good job of making their voices like instruments on here. I think it's like crazy. And yeah, this is definitely a special album. Like I understand all the hype. I think my favorite songs on here are The Flag Is Raised, Heaven Sing, and Desire Is a Trap. So I don't really know where to begin with this next section. This is going to be about the final album we're going to be talking about, Spiderr. And I'm not really sure if this was the best album to start my Bladee journey on, looking back on it. Like, I just listened to it like again today. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know if my reaction did it justice, because like I don't remember what my reaction was, but I feel like I didn't react hard enough, because I was listening back on this and I was like, just like, oh my god, this music is insane. Like from the beginning we get Understatement, which is a fire ass song, a very cool lead. Like it kind of sounds like a tame version of the other like EDM inspired songs, but oh my god, Understatement is crazy. And I gotta talk about I'm slowly but surely losing hope. Like, dude, if I didn't go absolutely like bonkers when I heard Bladee on like a rock song, like I don't know what's wrong with me, because like today I was going insane. I was like, oh my god, of course Bladee would be doing this like in 2022, when I think that's when in 2022, like of course everyone's doing rock and pop punk inspired stuff, but Bladee just does it differently, man. Like I feel like he understood the assignment way better than most of these rappers like MGK and shit like that. Like I think this Bladee song is better than like any pop punk song MGK or like Ian Dior's put out in the last like 2 years. Like this song is amazing. I mean, this gotta be my favorite song on this album, dude. Like I love this song. Like the instrumentation is like some Disney Channel like Austin and Ally type shit, but for some reason Bladee adds this atmosphere to where it sounds like a true like rocker song, you know? Like it's crazy. I think another notable song on here is a song called Nothing. It's a very cool song. The beat is like some steel drum type shit. Like it's crazy. And Bladee goes off. Like Bladee. And Disaster Prelude with Echo is also it's fire because it's a Blade and Echo song. Like those two are like insane together. Ha 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 is crazy. Like I feel like it's like the twin song to like Tybo Digital's Fresh. I'm Fresh. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It kind of sounds similar and like that's cool. They think like a connected universe of those kind of songs. You know? I wonder if like Echo or Young Lean's gonna make a song like that. Also, like I think that would be cool. And Drain Story is also a song I really like. I reacted to, that was like my first like Blade reaction video, I feel like. And yeah, I think that song is really good. Velociraptor sounds like a video game. Like that song is insane. It's like a Call of Duty. Like dude, I don't even know. It's like it's good. It's really good though. I'm gonna butcher this name, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but I'll put it on screen. This is like a really cool take on like the virtual beats type thing, like Ty Fontaine and like Sofago and stuff. But I feel like it's like a super evolved version of that, more dynamic, less just like stale, you know? That song is really good. And yeah, this is sort of like a really weird mixed bag of an album. It's kind of hard to follow the vision of what he had in mind, like the concept behind this album. I'm not really sure if it's like a compilation, because there's a bunch of different styles on here. I don't even really know what it was. I didn't really follow the story, but maybe I should, because I feel like it's going to be really interesting, because this album is super interesting. Like, we also got like the Uriel outro, which is beautiful. It's like some super sad anime type shit where he's kind of singing about, I guess, a girl or something named Uriel, something like that. Like, I didn't expect that at all. Like, it sounds like he's kind of like throwing stuff out the wall and hoping it sticks. Like, I don't know, but I mean, it's good. I like it. Like, Blade's just like super like unexpected. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do next. I guess that's why people like him. He's just kind of like random. You know what I mean? Which is, I guess, it's cool. You know, it's Blade, like, and I'm glad he's doing that. I'm glad he's doing that, because a lot of the times, like, when you experiment, you don't really know what you're going for. But I feel like Blade does. I feel like Blade knows what he's good at, and I feel like either like he can just adapt really quickly, or he just knows. He's been practicing for a while. You know, I don't know. So yeah, I don't really know if that whole section was good or not, but that's my thoughts on pretty much all the Blade albums. If you want my first reaction, you know, I post reaction videos on this channel if you guys didn't know. I'm sure most of you guys knew, but if this is your first time watching, dang, you made it really far into that video, so thank you very much. But yeah, I have a plethora of Blade reaction videos if you guys want to check out. Time for the last part, where I talk about all my favorite Blade songs. I have a lot, so strap in, but I just thought it'd be fun to talk about like all the ones that I really like, you know? I won't be like talking about it in depth. That's like maybe like a sentence or two, pretty much. Probably not even, but you know, I thought it'd be worth mentioning just in case you want to know what my favorite songs are, so we can talk about that and stuff. I think that'd be good. Yeah, I have so many that I'm probably not even gonna say anything about it, but here we go. So this isn't in any order either. It's just kind of like I just kind of like Blade vomited all over. So okay, here we go. So we got Malhor Freestyle, Sesame Street, 50 Second My Sock, Slowly but Surely Losing My Mind, The Flag Is Raised, Reality Surf, Heaven Sings, Ha Ha Ha, Understatement, Disaster Prelude, Dragonfly, Trash Star, which I will do a reaction to the music video soon. I heard it's really good. I think I've heard a lot of the song, but I haven't seen the video, so I'm gonna react to that very soon. We got Obedient, Spellbound, Risk Cry, X'd Out, Area 51, Still in Search of Sunshine, Dumpster Baby, Nosebleed, No Life Left, First Crush, Cherry Bracelets, oh my god, Cherry Bracelets, Under Your Spell, Knight's Bridge, Lordship, Red Light Moments, 1D, Steve Jobs, Frosty the Snowman, Western Union, DNA Rain, Every Moment Special, Extasia, Valerie, Oh Well, Noblest Drive, Innocent of All Things, Hero of My Story, Don't Worry, Into One, Grace, Sun, Rainbow, Hotel Breakfast, Desiree, Side by Side, and yeah, that concludes my Blade review. I probably should have told you this earlier, but this next section, I was kind of like the final section, I'm just gonna give like a tiny like brief summary. So I guess you could have just like skipped to this part if you wanted. So I'll put that in the comments or like the timestamp if you want to just like skip to it. That would kind of save you like a 40-minute video, but please watch all of it. The watch hours, I need that. Please, I'm close to being monetized, kind of. I think I'm like halfway, honestly, which is kind of crazy. At least on the watch hour part. So please watch all of it. That would mean a lot to me. Yeah, so overall, I really fuck with it. I really fuck with him. Surprisingly, that isn't something I thought I would say, but yeah, he's super innovative, mad creative, a pioneer of so many different genres. He's super duper unique. He may be hit or miss on some albums, but the songs he hits with, he really hits. He may not be the most talented vocally, but he doesn't have to be. Like a lot of people who aren't talented vocally, they're talented in emotions. They understand the emotions they want to give off, and so they work hard in mixing and mastering and production to kind of carry that emotion without actually having to use their vocals in a traditional way, like Adele or like Bruno Mars or something like that. He uses what he got to create something that he has in his head. He has super imaginative ideas, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. I will be reacting to every Bladee album that comes out in the future, so make sure to subscribe for that. I got an Echo 2K E reaction. I got some Young Lean reactions. I got a Trash Star Bladee, like I said. I plan to do like fucking Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar albums if you guys are interested in that as well. I'm not really too sure how many of you guys are, but I plan to do super like old rap albums, super old just like pop albums, EDM, different stuff. I'm basically just kind of like listening to every music I can. I want to complete music, so if you guys want to see my reactions to all sorts of different music, new or old, fire or trash, then then please subscribe. That helped me a lot. Make sure to leave a like and comment down below. Thank you guys so much for your support. I mean, this is crazy. Like, my last channel, it took me like 5 years to hit 1,000 subscribers or something like that, and so we hit 200 in like, I don't know, 5 months. So that's insane. Like, oh my god, I can't believe that. So thank you guys so much. This year is off to a rocky start, but I promise you I'm gonna be posting as much as I can. I got a schedule where I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna film and edit like 5 reaction videos in like a weekend, so that way I can post it on the weekdays, you know. And I'm just gonna have like a bunch of videos pumped out every kind of, almost every day. I'm just gonna have a bunch of album reactions, a bunch of single reactions, all sorts of stuff. It's gonna go crazy. I got my beat channel as well. I'm gonna be, selling beats, selling loops. I'm gonna be promoting like stuff like that, so that you can buy stuff, because I make music as well. And so, I want to help you guys out, because maybe you guys are producers. Some of you guys are producers, and I want to work with you guys and just build a fan base and grow musically and creatively and all that sort of stuff, and do a bunch of cool stuff, So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching JadynReacts or / JadynDola. I changed it now because this is my main channel now. So JadynDola / Reacts. I'm just gonna stick with, I think I'm gonna do. I kind of like saying JadynReacts, but the channel's JadynDola, so I'm not really too sure what I should do. I'll do JadynDola, I guess, because I don't only do a react. So JadynDola out.